This one is probably the biggest surprise at the box office over the summer. But, it makes sense because it's probably also the only movie really geared towards females that was in wide release this summer. Let's talk about It Ends With Us. Hey guys, Dan here. This is Dan Reviews It. Welcome to my spoiler-free review of the new film It Ends With Us. This is based on a pretty popular book by Colleen Hoover, and this is the first one of her books that has been adapted into a film. It stars Blake Lively and some other people you may know. So before we launch into the specifics, though, of this movie, let me welcome you back to Dan Reviews It. If you're one of my subscribers already, thank you so much. If you are not, please consider subscribing down below there. Click that notification bell, or just like this video, comment below, all that stuff, of course, helps the channel out as well. This was directed by Justin Baldoni, who you may recognize from Jane the Virgin. He had a starring role on that TV show. But this is not his first directorial effort. He's directed a few films, including 5 Feet Apart, which is also, like this one, sort of a romance with, a little bit of a twist. That was part of, and that was based on a book too, but that was part of the sort of movie craze where, one young adult is dying and the other one, falls in love with them. You had 5 Feet Apart, you had Fault in Our Stars. There was the one where the girl couldn't leave her room, everything, something, I forget what that was called. But yeah, there was like a whole host of those, and that was sort of in that mix. But now we have this one, It Ends With Us. And so this is about essentially sort of breaking the cycle of trauma over the many generations. And Blake Lively stars as this gal, Lily Bloom, who her father has just died, who we don't quite know why she doesn't really want to talk at his funeral. We sort of learn that as we go along. But she is living a different life now in Boston. She's opening up this flower shop, and she has a chance encounter with this dude. And as she's opening up her flower shop, this girl played by Jenny Slate comes in and says, "Hey, I'll work for you." Her name's Alyssa, and turns out this chance encounter, this guy that Lily Bloom had met, weeks ago on the rooftop, turns out to be Alyssa's brother. So it's, all joy as everybody's happy until we learn a little bit more about, some of the background of the characters and whatnot. And Lily also runs into her ex, who I guess she lost her virginity to, we're supposed to sort of assume. But anyway, so this is, like I said, definitely, I think the only really big release of the summer that was geared towards women. So I can see why this was such a big hit. And obviously, it came out like right around the time of Deadpool and Wolverine. So Ryan Reynolds was, out on the interview trail, and Blake Lively is his wife. So she was also, doing the interview stuff at the same time. So at one point, or maybe for a couple of weeks, Blake and Ryan had the number 1 and number 2 movies in the country. So it was pretty cool to see. But yes, so this is an interesting one because obviously, it's a great message to, try and kind of break that cycle of abuse that, our parents have endured and their parents and all of this. And, you always want to make things better for the next generation and for yourself as well. So yes, there's some good topics of discussion, I think, certainly. And Blake Lively is a fine actress. I don't think she is, one of our top performers here, but she's fine. And this is, a nice kind of role for her. Very pretty girl, obviously. You need somebody, that is believable to, all these, guys are throwing themselves at her, sure. And they found a younger version to do the flashbacks. I don't know, does it say what her name is? Isabella Ferrer or Ferrer, or Ferre maybe. She plays the young version of Lily in flashbacks, like the teenage version, and very believable. She looks a lot like young Blake Lively. But so all that stuff was fine. But my biggest issue, I would say, with the movie is the tone. Because the first half really is essentially like rom-com territory, maybe not to quite to the degree, but look, Jenny Slate's always funny, so that adds some levity to it. And her husband is played by Hassan Minhaj, who also is very funny. So there's some levity there with them, and some cutesy things going on, in the relationships. And then as we sort of unfold things, we take a bit of a turn, and the last hour is more sort of, gripping and certainly, more emotional and drama filled. And I would say for me, the overtones or undertones, whatever, of the romantic comedy tropes, I think kind of undercut the messaging a little bit of this movie. And so that definitely is my biggest gripe about it. It sort of seems kind of at odds with each other. And otherwise, it's okay, in most areas. But it is still a bit generic. We've certainly seen abuse stories before, many, many times over. Whether it's relationship abuse, or whatever, parent child. We've sort of seen that in a lot of different areas. I'm not sure if this adds anything new to the conversation, but it's portrayed well, and everybody's acting their part just fine, and all of that. So for me, this one is definitely a bit of a mixed bag. I'm gonna skate it by with just a slight positive. I leave it ends with us with a C plus, which is, I think, what I gave 5 Feet Apart as well, his other movie. So I don't know. Maybe he's got to do something more original for me. I don't know. But anyway, that will do it. Thank you so much for watching Dan Reviews It, and I will see you next time.